Like I would know. Ground ball to first. Walker has it, flips to Nelson, and the ball game is over. On the last day of the regular season, the offense finally arrives. The Diamondbacks take down the Padres 11-2. And now all Arizona can do is hope and wait.
That's Chris Garagiola. Final call in a very unusual way to end a season for basically three baseball teams whose postseason hopes hang in the balance.
Yeah.
The Atlanta Braves and New York Mets have a rescheduled doubleheader today. They're the only two teams playing baseball today, and the Diamondbacks, the third interested party, they need a sweep. Just a sweep, whether it's by the Braves or the Mets. It seems impossible to expect a sweep or to actually have that be the outcome. All things considered, the amount of achievement by the team who wins game one of that doubleheader today, plus the tactical planning. Why are you going to play or go all out on that second game if you've got to start a playoff series tomorrow?
It's brutal.
But then
it's
again,
absolutely brutal.
I will say this, in situations, and I freely admit I might be grasping at straws here, but we saw over the weekend the San Diego Padres took their foot off the gas in a gigantic game on Saturday for the Diamondbacks, who no-showed. Absolutely no-showed in that game.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in this situation they're in.
There's a chance. There's a chance that the team that wins game one will play all their B players, and then they'll have a big inning early. There's a chance. I get it, but I can't reconcile this fading candle of hope with this baseball team, with a team that at one point in time, we thought they might catch the Dodgers.
The Diamondbacks went into that series against the Los Angeles Dodgers, which started on August 31st, Bick, 3 games down. And the talking points were, if you sweep, we might come back on the air Monday and be talking about a first-place Diamondbacks team. And from that point on, very little inspiring.
I am just, and again, people are wondering, how could this have happened to a team that seemed to have it all at one point in time? And I've heard a lot of theories. I've heard things like, well, their brand of offense, for them to do what they do, it takes a lot of discipline. It's exhausting. To be able to grind through at bats the way this offense demands and to get 1 through 9, that it's real easy for guys to drift, or too easy for guys to drift in and out of focus. Okay, we've seen that happen. I was told a theory that Ketel Marte asking for that day off caused a lot of eyes to roll, and I can certainly see why it might.
So it wasn't just mine?
No, it wasn't just yours.
Yours?
No. And I don't. And then you've heard the theory that the Brewers just gutted them that Sunday in Milwaukee, coming back from an 8-0 deficit. But when did our baseball team become so fragile?
But think about that, what you just said. Losing an 8-run lead for the first time in franchise history on a day where you could have wrapped up a sweep, that is a gutting experience. And then it was followed up. You return home for the last week of the regular season, and your best player taps out.
So exactly.
That's double gutting.
Yeah, so it's probably the double gutting. That's probably a good way of kind of putting together what was said. Then there's the idea that, was there any real desperation with this team? For them to explode for 6 runs in the span of 12 pitches yesterday was exactly what the team needed, but it also kind of made you angry. Like, where's this been?
Yeah.
On Saturday, they were facing a minor league pitcher.
Yeah, a guy just got called up from AAA. Couldn't get a hit to save their lives. Couldn't score a run. To me, that felt a ton like Game 5 of the World Series, where they're getting a great pitching performance until they weren't getting a great pitching performance, but they just could not generate anything.
Yeah.
And that, the irony, if that's the term, of A.J. Puck being the guy that imploded on Saturday night after he has been just unhittable.
Right.
I kind of expected, you can't predict this team, by the way, but I kind of predicted or felt that they would go into tomorrow and just get absolutely hammered and leave no doubt after the gutting feeling of Saturday night. But to their credit, they showed up.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, the fact that this team not only did not get to 90 victories, but might get left out of the postseason entirely. That is a tremendous organizational failure, and you don't know where to go with your anger because organizationally they did everything you would ask a GM and an owner to do.
Yeah. And now the focus becomes on Atlanta and the Mets today, the doubleheader. Here's Mets manager Carlos Mendoza.
Good. We have a chance. We're right there, and we get to play, and we need one more. So we feel good. I signed up for that any day, especially with the way we started the year. Before the year, nobody expected us to be in this position, and here we are with a chance to do something special. And that's what we'll do. We'll go back to Atlanta, and we'll get that last one, and we'll go from there.
You know what's gonna? I know exactly what's gonna happen. The team that loses Game 1 of the doubleheader today, they're going to score 7 runs in their first at bat in Game 2.
Yeah, and
just to rub our faces in it.
And just hey, by the way, you don't have to watch the rest of this game.
Oh, Vinny, make it stop.
It's such a weird scenario. And then here was Brian Snitker, the Braves manager, on, hey, what do you do if you win Game 1? Read between the lines here, D-backs fan.
Well, we'll probably adjust after, if we can fortunate enough to pull that one off, then we'll make some adjustments. And we'll see. You know what? We're going to play 2 ball games, and hopefully we out there and get some big hits and all that and make it happen. Like I say, it's in our court, and it's up to us to go out and make it happen.
So the pitching matchups in Game 1, which starts at 10:10 Arizona time, Trevor McGill against Spencer Schwellenbach.
Ha!
Please tell me you're not pinning your hopes to
Spencer Schwellenbach.
The Game 2 pitching matchup.
This is funny.
Is Luis Severino against Chris Sale. Does that make any sense to you from the Atlanta standpoint?
Well, if the Braves lose the first game, it does.
Well,
yeah, they're not going to pitch Sale in the second game.
No.
If they win the first game.
Of course.
But if Game 1 is the must-win, aren't you pitching Sale in Game 1? It's not a matter of days off. It's a matter of hours.
I figure
you're trying to roll the dice to have them for your first playoff game.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get. But
in that scenario,
you got to get to the playoffs before.
Listen, I got to tell you this too. Props to the Atlanta Braves for forcing themselves into this conversation. They're the only team of the 3 that really can claim any dignity right now. You and I both got an email. They were saying you guys really need to connect with these 2 radio hosts who do like Mets broadcasting because they're going through the exact same thing we are, framing up their baseball team as an epic collapse if they don't get in.
Yeah.
So you're basically having 2 National League baseball cities on full grip today. Unfortunately, the Diamondbacks have no control in theirs.
Yeah, it's going to be a stressful
day.
Day.
Listen, man, this weekend should have been about welcoming guys from Reno and setting up your postseason rotation, and it's just
hey,
the worst.
Zach Gallen is ready to go. I didn't have to use him yesterday.
Thanks for watching Bickley and Marotta. Click to see the latest Bickley Blast and hit the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.